Alright, so in the previous video we saw the basics of exponent rules. Here it's going to get a little bit more complicated. Let's try to understand what x to the power of a over b would be equal to. Here's the thing. When we say, for example, x to the power of 1, we can say that that's x. When we have x to the power of 2, that would be x times x. But x to the power of 1/2, what would that be equal to? Let's take a look at that. X to the power of 1/2. Let's use what we know to try to figure that out. Well, we can say that x to the power of 1/2 times x to the power of 1/2 would be equal to x to the power of 1/2 plus 1/2, which would be equal to x to the power of 1, which is equal to x. So we had something here that we multiplied by exactly the same thing, and we got our original x. But if we think about it, we know that the square root of x times the square root of x is equal to x. So we again have here that original something that we multiply by itself, and we get x. Well, I think that tells us that x to the power of 1/2 is equal to the square root of x. Let's choose, for example, x to the power of 1/3. X to the power of 1/3. Well, we can do the same thing here. X to the power of 1/3 times x to the power of 1/3 times x to the power of 1/3 is equal to x to the power of 1/3 plus 1/3 plus 1/3, which is equal to x to the power of 1, which is equal to x. Here we have something that we multiply by itself 3 times, and we get our original x. And in this case, it's a cube root of x, that we can multiply by the cube root of x, that we multiply by the cube root of x, and is equal to x. Here again, we have something, we multiply by itself, we re-multiply by itself, and we get our original x. So here, let's say we have x to the power of 1/3 is equal to x, cube root of x. Let's say we don't have x to the power of 1/3, but we have x to the power of 2/3, x to the power of 2/3. Well, here we can use what we just figured out to try to find that one out. So x to the power of 2/3 is equal to x to the power of 1/3. So it's equal to x to the power of 1/3 times x to the power of 1/3. And we know that x to the power of 1/3 is a cube root of x. So that would be equal to the cube root of x times the cube root of x. Okay, so if we look at this, we know that that would be equal to the cube root of x all squared, because we're multiplying it by itself. Here, we're multiplying it by itself. So let's look at this. We had an initial x to the power of a fraction with a 2 on the numerator, and we have squared here. And we had a 3 on the denominator, and we have a cube root here. So from this, I think we can tell that x to the power of a over b is equal to the bth root of x all to the power of a. And it's as simple as that.